All right. Okay. You know, kissing a person on the mouth usually is very different from kissing a dog on the mouth. Just something I noticed. Anyway, my name's Sean. It's good to see you guys. How you doing? That's good. That's good. I'm all right. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm all right. I just recently turned 27. Feels a little weird. Takes me back to when my oldest brother turned 27. I just said, dude, you're close enough to 30. Let's just round up. And that's not a funny joke. I don't like that one at all. But yeah, you know, it's weird being 27. In my 27 years, I've somehow managed to mature in my own little ways. And with that, my body has matured as well. Maybe that sounds a little personal, but I just feel like I can trust you guys. But yeah, you know, for instance, my metabolism has started setting boundaries. This is a very grown-up thing to do, considering our toxic relationship. Gone are the days when I could just eat a whole block of cheese and go to bed and expect that to be dealt with in the morning. Yeah. I don't know, I'm packing on some pounds. I'm by no means a big guy, but I'm getting there. I'm not a dad bod, but I'm kind of working on more of like a Grinch bod, I would say. Skinny arms, skinny legs, round belly, a lot of body hair. But yeah, you know, my body is starting to give me little signals, little hints that maybe it's time for a lifestyle change. For instance, I was in the shower. I'll paint a picture for you. Just kidding. I think I've made you guys imagine enough. But I was in the shower, and I felt something gently caress my inner thigh. And it turns out it was just my other thigh. So that was tough. That was a big dose of reality right there. Had to cut back on the cheese. But anyway, you know, but there are upsides though, you know, to slowly approaching 30. Is that, you know, I don't have to go through it alone. I mean, I've made some really great friends that, you know, are kind of in the same age, some older. And, you know, I've noticed that, like, we all have something wrong with us. I don't want to get into, like, mentally. I think I more so mean medically. So, you know, like, there's always the guy who can't eat that, or the guy who can't use that limb very well anymore, or the guy who can't breathe when he sleeps. Or you can be like Eldon and have all three. I'm just kidding. Actually, Eldon can eat whatever he wants. He has no food allergies. I'm pretty sure I walked in on him eating like a full side of sheet metal, and I don't know, but he's the only, I think, 30-year-old that actually scares me. I mean, everybody else, you know, like, I feel like you can just, if, you know, you're just a little creative, you can tap into some sort of weakness. If you ever bump into one in the wild, you get into a physical altercation, don't use your fists. Get creative. Think outside the box. The guy who's gluten intolerant, throw bread at him. The guy who's lactose intolerant, dump whole milk on him. He'll melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. The one with sleep apnea, tie a square knot into his sleep snorkel. It's fine. I'm afraid of the doctor, though. I'm fully insured, and I haven't been to, like, the doctors in years, and it's because I'm afraid of how the good Lord has nerfed me. But I don't know, you know, but getting older, though, sometimes it does get to me. It gets me a little down. But, you know, I just have to kind of take a step back and, reassess what I'm grateful for. When I'm thinking back and wishing that I was more like young Sean, when I could jump off of roofs and drink gasoline and metabolize that into vitamin C, I just think of, what kind of life I've lived. One of the things I'm most grateful for is the fact that I've only ever urinated on one other person. That's right. Just the one. You guys know how life can be. Throws you a few curveballs, has twists and turns. One moment, you're an upstanding citizen. The next, you're kissing dogs on the mouth and peeing on your neighbor. It happens. But there is a story that is attached to this claim of mine. I could tell it. Might be sensing a little uncertainty from the crowd, though. I will remind you, this is a family-friendly show, so I'll keep it PG, I think. But it all happened, and you might even be thinking that maybe this involves a jellyfish, but I can tell you right now it doesn't. I didn't have that justification, actually. I'll be the first to state I made a mistake. But it all, and speaking of jellyfish, actually, did you guys know that you don't actually have to pee on a jellyfish sting? And I mean, maybe I'm the only one that's heard that, but I mean, for those, have you guys heard that one? Yeah. That you have to pee on a jellyfish sting? It's a lie. You don't have to. You just have to dump warm water on it. So I think just somewhere in the past, some weirdo was all like, yeah, this is the only way. I promise. And we bought it. He duped us all. There might even be people in this crowd that have had to, take care of a jellyfish sting, and, well, you peed on somebody in vain, I'm sorry to say. But this story started on a balmy summer day. My friend Allison, she invited me over for a water fight, so I went over. We got to squirt gunning, we got to water ballooning and slip and sliding, and after chugging half the contents of my water gun, I eventually had to use the restroom. So I tell Allison, I've got to use the restroom. And she says, no, that's not possible. Why not? Well, look at you, you're dripping wet. You're going to drip all over my floor. My mom's going to freak out. Well, you tell your mom I'm about to be a lot wetter if you don't make an exception here. She said, no, just go behind that tree over there. And, I'm a boy. I can go wherever I want, I guess. So I do, and I walk over to the tree. And the weird thing was that Allison followed me. I could do that very well on my own. She gets there behind me, and she cups her hands like this, which was quick thinking on Allison's part because I had no idea in what receptacle I would store all this fluid. This is probably a good time to let you guys know that Allison and I were just 4 years old. So if you could find it in your hearts to cut us a little slack, that'd be great. I hope you guys weren't imagining this like happening a week ago or something. That'd be a little weirder. Anyway, somehow her older brother spotted us behind this 5-inch wide tree, and he grabbed me by the arm. I wasn't even finished yet, and he made me go home. Gosh, they were really mad, but can you imagine how they would have reacted if they knew what their dog and I had been up to? Yeah. But, yeah, well, that's how my reputation was ruined at a young age. It's hard to find, I get it, though, a parent, they don't want to send their child out into the world and risk them getting peed on. It was okay, though, I had my stuffed animals, my books, and I learned a very valuable lesson, at a very young age. Now I know if anybody is to ask me to pee on them ever again, now I will politely but firmly refuse. Thank you.